Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How are you, everyone? I miss you all. Let's go today on a journey with the story of our lovely, beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are in episode number 6, and we will go on with this story. Before we start, we will say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and we are talking today about the next step in our beloved Prophet Muhammad. What? Muhammad, what? What should we say when I say Prophet Muhammad? Yes, mashallah. Yes, of course, you all know that every time we say Muhammad or we hear his name, we have to say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So, because the best Muslims are the ones who always make sure to say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam when they hear his name. Okay, we said that last time we were talking about that the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to go to Hira cave. You know that? Hira cave, and think about Allah. Now, my lovely students, one day in Ramadan, when he was 40 years old, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam climbed the mountain to the cave. And do you know what happened that time? Do you know? Can you imagine? Yes, this was a very special day. Allah picked this day to send an angel down to the cave to teach Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the words of Allah. What was the angel's name? Do you know it? Can you anyone tell me? Yes, I'm waiting. It was Jibreel alayhi salam. Jibreel alayhi salam. Jibreel. Yes, this day he went down to this cave. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting in the cave when Jibreel came down and said, "Get up." That means, and he said, "Iqra." He said, "Iqra, read." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "I don't know how to read." Jibreel squeezed him tight in a hug and then let him go. Then he said again, "Read." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said again, "I don't know how to read." Jibreel squeezed him tight for the third time and said, "Read." Prophet Muhammad said one more time, "I don't know how to read." Then Jibreel said, "اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم." What does that mean? اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. What does that mean? Okay, that means read in the name of your Lord who created. In the name of the Lord, in the name of your Lord, your God, who created. خلق الإنسان من علق. He created the humans from clay. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Read. He said again, read. وَرَبُّكَ الْأَكْرَمُ. These are the words of Allah. And Jibreel is telling Muhammad these words of Allah. He taught him. He was teaching him these words. Read. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Read, and your Lord is the most generous. Why? He taught. الذي علم بالقلم. Who taught by the pen, who taught us how to use pen, to read, to write. He taught the human. علم الإنسان. He taught the human, all people, ما لم يعلم, what they didn't know. He taught us everything, what we didn't know before. So these were the first verses, ayat, who Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam learned from Jibreel alayhi salam. Let's repeat. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. And then just like that, Jibreel disappeared. Muhammad was so scared. That's because he still doesn't know who was that. Who was that? Jibreel was an angel from Allah that had been sent to teach him the Quran, which is, what is the Quran? Allah's words. He didn't know that Jibreel was coming with a message that would teach people to be good and to stay away from all bad deeds. So he was very scared. Why? Because he doesn't know what is that? What happened? Now, Prophet Muhammad quickly raced down the mountain and ran home to Khadija, sweating and shivering. Zammiluni, he said. Zammiluni, zammiluni. What does that mean, zammiluni? That means cover me in the blankets. I'm sick. Cover me, cover me. I'm shivering. Khadija quickly brought him a blanket and covered him with it. She was worried about him. His whole body was shivering. She wiped the sweat off his forehead and stayed with him. When he was finally better, she asked him what happened. Prophet Muhammad told her everything that happened to him. Khadija comforted him and said that nothing bad would happen to him. You know why she said that? Do you know why Khadija said that? She said, Allah would never let something bad happen to you. Why? Because you always say the truth and you are very kind to your family and take care of your relatives. You see these words, these beautiful words? You help those who need help and you have the best manners. You are generous with all your guests. And if anyone has a problem, you do your best to help them. Don't ever be scared because you do all these good deeds. And whoever does these good deeds, Allah will always protect him. Khadija then had an idea. What was that idea? She told Prophet Muhammad to go to her cousin and ask him about what happened. Who was her cousin? Yes, her cousin was Waraqa bin Nawfal. He was a very, very old man. He used to read a lot of books and he knew a lot of information. Waraqa knew that there was a prophet coming to teach all the people what Allah wants. And he also knew the characteristics of this new prophet. So she had this idea and Muhammad said, yes, let's go. Khadija and Prophet Muhammad told Waraqa what happened. And they asked him, what do you think? Waraqa looked at Prophet Muhammad and he said, I'm sure that you are the final prophet chosen by Allah. It must have been revealed. Who came to you in the cave is the angel that Allah sent to the prophets before you to teach them his message. Allah sent him to you to teach you his message. But Waraqah told Prophet Muhammad one more thing. What was that? Though it was something a little scary, he said, be careful, Muhammad, be careful. When people of Mecca who worship idols know you are the prophet chosen by Allah, they are going to fight you and hurt you, and they are going to push you out of Mecca. What? Prophet Muhammad said, are they going to push me out of my home? How? Waraqah said, yes. The people always push their prophets out of their towns. Waraqah looked at Prophet Muhammad sadly and said, I wish I was still young, or that I could live to see you when your people fight you, so that I could help you and be with you. But because he knew that he is very old at that time. Then Waraqah, the elderly man, lowered his head and kissed Prophet Muhammad's head when he realized that this was the man Allah had chosen to be the final prophet who would teach everyone Allah's message. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Muhammad. Now, stay tuned for our next episode to find out. We leave you in the safety of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.